Zest is in, where resilience begins, not fixing the cracks.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Zest is in with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that'll take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome my guest, Jane Carmichael, a storyteller, encourager, a writer who has boldly reclaimed parts of herself long denied. With her unique blend of empathy, humor, realism, and gentle persuasion, she invites us to explore the art of speaking our truth and living with courage. Together, I'm sure we'll uncover how passion, purpose, and play can reshape the way we tell our stories and create more impact in our beautiful world. If you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by helping amplify incredible voices like Jane's today by subscribing to future episodes. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it helps really shine a light on these incredible guests that I have and reach many more hearts. So if you have already, thank you. And may this episode bring you more clarity, more courage, and gentle permission to be yourself. Welcome, Jane.
Hello, thank you. Crikey, what an intro. I'm thinking, who is this woman?
It's you.
Yeah, well, I hope I live up to expectation.
I am already, just by connecting with you, I'm already feeling that. And I think that humility, I feel like that's a really beautiful quality to have as well.
Well, because, I mean, maybe I've got it right now.
But that's what I'm saying, because I think often we can get really lost in things, can't we? But I think that's a part of the beautiful unfolding. And I'm sure you have a lot of examples of this in the line of work that you do through the power of storytelling.
Well, yes, I guess that's the weird thing. My work was storytelling for about 20 years. I worked in PR. So I worked for a range of different organizations, from homelessness charity to social housing to the Environment Agency. I worked the flip side as well for only ever local newspapers. But yeah, so storytelling was what I did for work for a long time. Now I'm doing it kind of for myself, I guess.
Good.
So I'm no longer working in PR for one reason or another, which I'm sure will come out over the course of this conversation. But I now work in a post office, and I'm doing a creative writing master's. So the writing that I'm doing is sort of finally for me rather than for work, which is it's an odd experience.
I love that though, and I know these buzzwords really get thrown around about passion to purpose and all this, but I really do believe, thinking back to even this podcast, if I did not have the passion, this is not going to be successful. This is not going to be the vision I have long term. I know we can force and we can, manipulate and make things happen now, but I really do believe there needs to be a driving force, and it doesn't always have to be master's passion, but there has to be something that's in you that makes you go, I want to invest in this, and I want to invest my time, my energy in it. And that's what I feel you maybe just expressed. Would you say that?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, literally invest. That's the thing as well. So a master's doesn't come for free, and so it was quite a big choice, particularly at my stage of the game, to think, okay, I've no longer got a proper job. Can I afford to do this? Do I want to do this? But for me, I don't know if you remember reading this when I sent it through to you, but I had cancer 5 years ago, breast cancer, during the pandemic. Everything is fine. From that point of view, I've got the 5-year all clear, which is great.
Amazing.
But it wasn't the cancer that really caused a problem. It was what came afterwards. So my cancer was estrogen led. So I was put onto a drug called tamoxifen, which for some women will be absolutely fine. There may be some side effects. You might come out of it more or less unscathed. Yeah. I did not. So I went into what's called crash menopause, which is all to do with, because it suppresses your estrogen. So essentially you're going into menopause, but more or less not over a lovely kind of perimenopausal 5 or 10 years. You're going in more or less overnight.
Wow.
And you're not really given much guidance about what's going to happen to you. And so you think that it's you, that it's broken, essentially, or I thought it was me that was broken. And then that kind of just, from there, things spiraled and unraveled. And at the same time, AI. It's a huge implosion in the public relations and communications industry. The skills that I had that were niche and in demand, people are like, oh, but why would I bother? I can just put that in ChatGPT. So it was kind of like a double blow at the same time, with many other, deciding factors. But yeah,
oh my
so
gosh.
It's very positive that I've decided to do the masters, and it's brilliant, and I'm loving it, and I'm so glad that I am. But it did take a kind of a disaster to get me there.
And I'm sure you found this a lot, even in your work prior to all of this. It's often that real almost smack around the head that makes us go, oh, and wake up. And it's not saying that we all get that and that's how we all learn. But often it's when we really have those, and thank you for sharing that, by the way. Really, thank you so much for sharing that, because even in you just saying that, just sharing that insight of your own experience, you don't know who's listening right now that could be questioning things about the medication or wondering what's happened to their body.
That is why I have my pin on today as well. So I'm an ambassador for the charity Cancer and Menopause. And I would absolutely 100% recommend them, because they saved me. It was weird because I didn't know about them because they didn't quite exist at the point when I went through things. The lady who runs it, Danny Binnington, she'd had cancer herself. She'd gone through, plenty of stuff. Every, as you say, every journey is different. Every experience is different, but she'd gone through loads as well. And it's not just breast cancer. It can be, any gynecological cancer, bowel cancer, because it's all in those same, hormonally driven regions. Anyway, she did an interview with a charity called Working with Cancer, because that's what I was struggling with. I was like, how am I meant to work and function while I'm still going through all of this kind of psychological stuff? Because it was because I changed job as well. So I was in a job where I was very, very supported. It all went fine. I had the time off, I had the recovery time, I had the phased return. I felt better. Then I moved on to a new job. How do you go into a new job and say, hi guys, by the way, these are the following things that might happen? And particularly in a remote working world as well, where you're not with people, it was incredibly difficult and it did not go well. Anyway, I'm digressing. So I went and searched up this charity Working with Cancer. On there, Danny was being interviewed. And at that point, she was just an individual doing podcasts because she felt she needed to. Now she is a fully fledged charity with funding for women who are going through crash menopause, chemical menopause, actual menopause, because it's all much of a muchness. In the end, you just need somebody to explain, what drugs can you take? What can you do if you can't have the magic fix-all that is HRT? What can you do if you just need someone to talk to, or you want to raise money for others, or it's there. So Cancer and Menopause, Danny Binnington, cannot sing her praises enough. Amazing.
Thank you so much, and I will make sure I put everything you're mentioning, and even with you, and there's a reason why I feel like I really want to mention about you even saying about doing your masters now. And I noticed you kind of started touching a little bit on age, and I think again that, like, I know it sounds so subtle, but it's not. It's this societal thing and pressure and age and all this. But equally, I know from the other side of it, from the two now I'm tying in together, of actually, regardless of your age, because I know someone who was in her 20s and this happened to her, and now she didn't know anything about menopause. She had no idea. She's now freezing her eggs, having all these things happen to her. So I really think particularly with women, we really need to stop this ageism, because do you know what? It's your time now, whether that was your time then and whatever, like we can always, I believe we go on our journey and everything unfolds because that was a part of your journey. Because even with you speaking to all those incredible people, might have been local or not, you got so much wisdom, so much knowledge. And that has fed into the reason why you're doing what you're doing today. Same as that.
It is funny how it slots together. So I trained people for 20 years to do media interviews. Never did one myself, because you're the PR. You do not go on TV. You do not speak. Last year I was on Channel 5 representing menopause and cancer. I could see the producer like behind the interviewer going, right, cut the segment, and I was like, no, not finished, and I want to introduce this and this and this. You know, it was funny, and yet, like you say, very empowering to finish my message. You know, and so yes, you can look me up on Channel 5 as well if you want to see
we'll
that.
be putting all of that. You are going to share all of this, because I know
but all of this is coming through in my writing, and that's the other thing that I'm finding. So one of my tutors, I don't know if you've heard of her, she's called Bernadine Evaristo. So she wrote a book called Girl, Woman, Other, Booker Prize winner. She did not win the Booker Prize until she was 60. She started writing plays and performing and all of that thing through her 20s and 30s. But in her 40s, she started writing novels. Again, they are experimental novels. They are not your straightforward beginning, middle, and end. You know, they're poetry, they're verse novels, they're Black women, they're queer characters. She wrote, oh gosh, this has literally gone out of my head. That's one of the other problems of menopause. It was adapted for TV recently.
It's not just menopause.
Oh my God. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. So she's now on TV. She's now worldwide. She is now basically a literary celeb, and I'm being taught by her, and I'm allowed to call her Bernie. You know, and so my masters, at the end of my masters, I basically write a novel. Now I've written a couple before that nearly made it. Well, I had an agent. Everything was going quite well in terms of how a literary career goes, but at the same time as I crashed off the job and crashed off the cliff, I was also dropped by my agent because the book wasn't working for them anymore. So the last 5 years, it's been like, you know, you create this Jenga tower of your life, and every time a block comes out, you're like, no, I can still handle. And eventually it just was flat on the floor. And you start to rebuild, and then it has been, as I say, a lot of the analogies that come to me are like board games, like, you know, snakes and ladders. Like you go along, you're doing really well. So when I got the cancer, I was like quite high up on the board, and then suddenly it was like, ooh, you know. So it is. I mean, I know that's life, but it has been quite adventurous, but it's given me so much material. So the other thing I do, so I lost that first job. Well, not lost. This is the point. I always phrase it. I lost the job. I came to the end of my probation and was unsuccessful. And the point is, none of the fits for these jobs were necessarily right either. It's just that this kind of stuff feels like a crisis.
Yeah, but this is what I'm hearing, because I actually personally, like, and I know, like, you can comment because it's your life, but when me as an outsider listening, I actually feel like every time you speak about that, it's a very different energy to what you're talking about now, and the excitement you feel now. Okay, there's the uncertainty. Yeah. Okay, right, you're not in a job, but I felt this for a long time after being in a job, and like, you know, I do what I do, and I get the money, and I have the security, and yeah, of course. So it felt like something completely was missing off me when I transitioned to what I'm doing now. But did I really have the same passion, and did I really have the same fuel and the same excitement, and did I connect with the amount of people I know globally now? So I think, actually there's the beauty in what you're sharing, because you're still unfolding. You're unfolding.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
There's a reason why.
So I would say that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine.
The growth phase. Growth phase. But the trouble is money. Money is always going to be an issue. That is difficult, particularly because I'm a mum of 3 as well, and my husband works. But most households need a dual income. So it is a constant push me, pull me between the voices saying you're doing the right thing, keep doing it, keep trying, and the voice that's going, well, don't be dumb. Most people just have to work for money, and they don't get what they want for their whole life. They just do a job. What's wrong with you? Why can't you? It's constant, that push me, pull me.
But you wouldn't have made the decisions you've made if you weren't in a position to make them.
Well, true. So I'm very lucky.
I believe you should be really actually kind to yourself. You've been through something very traumatic. You're still having a lot that you're dealing with. And I believe this is your time. And it sounds like you have a wonderful husband who's really supporting you. It's really your time to invest into you and allow the unfolding, because equally, and this is something I had to really tell myself, because I guess life-changing, altering circumstances that enter our lives, often, you might be the one that's just come out of school and you're now in university and you're navigating and you're focusing on the job you're going to get. But the beauty is, if you still wanted to, you have all of that experience. You have all of those seeds planted, those connections, those contracts. And this is what I have to remember, is it's a choice right now that I'm making. But if I really wanted to, I have that stability already. I have 13 years plus of, do you know what? Okay, actually, I think I'm going to go back to that because I've given this a go. And that is what we forget, because we see that this is the age, this is when we're supposed to be doing this, but we forget all of that incredible foundation that we have created in order for you to blossom right now. So even if at the end of your masters you're maybe okay, what now? You have a cushion, you have a husband, you have a safety net. So I think you should be kinder to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to kind of get into it too much. I think it's a relatively simplistic answer, but you're right. I do have a safety net, and I am lucky in that. But I guess what I was going to say is, yes, it's giving me the time also. So I'm also a military wife, so we move a lot. So again, stability and a static structure is not something that I have enjoyed this is the first time I've lived in my own house for 19 years. So wow. We move every 2 or 3 years or more.
I can relate. I was an army child.
So you're a pad brat. So
I am a pad brat, as they like to say.
Pad brat, yeah. See, there you are. That's interesting. It's that restlessness. I think that it's really odd, because half of you, again, it's this push me, pull me. Half of you craves this life of stability where you will just be in one place and everything will be normal and you'll live a normal life like normal people do. And the other part goes, woo!
Well, what did I say to you as soon as we connected? We didn't even know about this. And I said, yeah, I'm here right now. And I just can't wait to get back on the plane.
Yeah, it's true. So although I know I'm here right now, I think it leads you to live a life where you just seize the day, because it could be gone next week. And the same with, I read a phrase last week which I really love, and I'm definitely going to write a poem about it somehow. The phrase aggressive socializing, because as a military wife, you arrive and you meet someone, and generally as a military wife on a military patch, somebody will come to your door and say, hello, do you need anything? If you need a coffee or a kettle or whatever it is, I'm just at number blah blah blah. I moved here to Civiland I sent the text out to my neighbours, the one you always send, saying, "Oh, sorry that the removal van's going to block the road, but if you want to pop over and say hi, that would be lovely."
Yeah.
Tumbleweed.
It's one extreme to the other, isn't it? It's one extreme to the other.
Nothing. Because I think civvies live their life on this very long, sorry for all the people watching this who don't know what a civvy is, that's just people who aren't in the military. They live this life on this very long, you've got forever to get to know your neighbours. You've got forever to decide to go to that museum that's in your town, because it's always going to be there, or you've been there before. Whereas I'm like, right, who do I know? Where can I go? What can I take pictures of? What can I draw? What can I write about?
Because you always feel like you're on a timeline and like a restriction.
Yeah, you're on a deadline.
Yeah,
and
like in 2 years, 2 years, you don't know where you could be next. Yeah,
well, and that's the thing. It might not even be. You don't know. At any point, the army can just say, "Oh no, we've decided your husband's needed here."
Well, yeah,
so
exactly.
Off you go. Yeah.
So I had a huge, I didn't realize this till I was older, but like white walls, I used to freak out, and it's because I always knew whenever my mum started painting the wall white that we were moving. Like she wouldn't say, I'd say, we're moving. She said, no, we're not. And I said, but my friends, and I would have this anxiety, and she'd just
back to Magnolia.
I'm just changing it, and I always knew every time we were moving. And it whitewashed the wall.
The fact that your mum took the trouble to paint. I've never painted a wall in my life.
My mum's house is like artwork. Like she used to do the most incredible designs. Every house was different, but yeah, and it was almost her as well. Like I'm not like she would get the sorry, I feel like we're going a bit off task here, but yeah, she would really like I remember once she painted like all the fence outside, these big vibrant flowers and all sorts, like, and I think that was my mum saying like, well, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to make it mine. And
I'm gonna make it mine. Yeah.
But
see, I do the same with photos. So we have the same pictures and photos that go up on the wall, and that's why I always say to the girl, home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
But of course, they're at boarding school, so that is another weird complication that people don't understand. There's just so many strands to my life that are peculiar to other people. But yes, anyway, my point was, since I've arrived here, so I arrived at the end of October. By November the 16th, I think it was, I was working in the post office. So I went into post a parcel, came out with a job, did that through Christmas, which was, excuse my French, insane, as you can imagine. What a time to get a job in the post office over Christmas.
Yeah.
Never having worked in that before. So it was, shall we say, a baptism of fire. Now we're kind of coming into the new year. It has calmed down a bit, but so I've been doing open mic nights. So again, I started doing those just over a year ago. So it was December 24. I had a job coach at that time because I knew things were going wrong with the current position that I had. And I was like, how is this going wrong again? I need to, get a hold of this. She said, what would you do if you could be anything in the world? And I said, well, I'd be a best-selling novelist. Oh, sorry.
Well, it sounds like you're on the path. So, and you know what? One day you'll look back at that, and that's imprinted. That's out there.
I know. Well, my friends gave me this. So I like to wear it to give myself a boost. So anyway, she said, "What would you do?" And I said, "I'd be a best-selling novelist and poet." And she said, "Well, go on then." So I wrote a poem, and then she said, right, fine, now you need to go and perform that somewhere. So my first performance was in Uxbridge Library, alongside a lady in a sari who played the ukulele and sang Pope's Common People, a man with a beard that looked like it had been ironed. It was just the most bonkers night, and all my friends came, and they brought me a balloon, a little helium balloon, and it was just, it was so gorgeously lovely and kind of stupid and crazy. So that was the first one, and I just carried on doing them. And people say, "Wait, like, doesn't that scare you? You're so brave." I'm like, literally doesn't scare me at all. What scares me is spreadsheets and corporate speak and getting it wrong in a very public environment. Whereas at an open mic night, everyone is there because they're willing to give each other a chance. Everyone is there because it's better than sitting on your couch and scrolling. You know, people might not be very good, you know, objectively, but subjectively, it could make you cry when you see, like, I went to this one the other night and there was this old couple. It was kind of the most horrible noise you've ever heard. Again, it was ukulele. It seems to be a thing. And they were singing together. But when they sang and they looked at each other and they kind of yodeled away, and you could just imagine them in their front room practicing together to be there. It makes your hair do that thing. It makes you, you know, it makes you believe in humans.
But I believe that you're saying this for a reason, because equally not everyone would be able to stand up and do open mic, because I've done that, and I don't think everyone could. But also what I hear is the moment you made the decision in all the different aligned actions you've taken, look how many opportunities have like revealed itself. You know, so I think that's powerful in itself. Of, you know, again, don't hold on to the age, don't hold on to this, don't hold on to that. You want something, go for it, go get it. And it seems like what you said, oh, it's just a small little thing, but it's not. These are all, I believe, little plans and little opportunities that are setting you up for what's still to come. Like, even with your masters, like I said, oh, I'll write, you said you're going to write a novel at the end of it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And think of who essentially
for my dissertation.
But think of who essentially is your mentor. Like, okay, she's your teacher, but she's your mentor.
I know, she's amazing.
Like,
I know. She's,
so I feel
very excited.
You see? And I feel
and again, it's funny you should use that metaphor, because you know the military flower is a dandelion. So think of when you blow those seeds, they go everywhere, and you can't stop a dandelion. You know, okay, you can pull it up, but you're guaranteed there'll be another one. And that's kind of how I feel, that you just have to keep. So on a positive day, that's the point. Today is a positive day. Today is a good day. The flip side of my perimenopause, and we haven't even touched on neurodivergency, which is a whole another kettle of fish, which again, I do a lot of kind of reading and thinking around that, in that a lot of older women are being diagnosed as somewhere on the neurodivergent. They don't use the term spectrum anymore. You know, think of it as a flower. You know, there's you in the middle, and you might have this characteristic or that characteristic. So I've done a lot of looking into that, because I believe that I am, but then there's this whole discussion around self-diagnosis and the waiting lists and what happens anyway, even if you are diagnosed. So there's a lot of kind of having to manage my own feelings and condition, as it were. And one of the problems with it is rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD, or basically just having hurt feelings, having really big hurt feelings. And because of what I've kind of gone through in the last few years, when I get something wrong, or when I even think I've got something wrong, or I've let someone down, or that they're rejecting me in some way, it's not just like, oh well, never mind. It floors me. And that's really distressing, because that's the, again, pros and cons, flips and flops. When I am sad, there is nothing I can do but cry. You know, I am not like this all the time. This is good Janie. This is happy Janie. This is me talking about myself and things I love. You know, the example being at the post office, I got a few things wrong because it's a new job. I've been there 6 weeks. My rational brain knows that, but my sad brain, my menopausal brain, my lacking chemicals brain tells me that I am useless and stupid and I should give up, and you can't even do this, and how pathetic are you, and they're going to cut your hours. And then they did cut my hours, and I was like, you see, you were right. Actually, they cut my colleagues' hours as well, because there's not enough work and I'm on a 0 hours contract. It was nothing to do with anything. But in those days when I didn't know that, I was like, I wanted to die. And that's so stupid. I know I don't want to die.
But Jane, I really believe this is why you're on here today and you're sharing all this, because even though, and I'm so sorry you went through that and you're still going through that, but you are conscious of it. There's lots of people that are so unconscious of this, and they believe that that is them. They label themselves, and that is me, and that is my mind, and that's what I think. A lot of people aren't conscious, and I think I'm really sorry.
I consider myself lucky because, again, I have such an amazing support network. I have so many friends because of this seed growing. Every time I've moved, you gain more friends. And also my mum is amazing. But yes, it's like 98% of me that day is like, you are worthless. But there's still that little 2% that knows. And I'm also, as I say, it's lucky. I feel like I have AA sponsors. I think, who can I call in this moment that will pull me out of this? And again, I know I'm lucky because it lasts a day, 2 days, a few days. It doesn't feel like that all the time. And then again, that gives me an empathy towards people who are depressed or who are struggling, because I just think, I've got all these cushions of privilege. What is it like for people who do not? And that's why, again, with public relations, even before all of this, I always wanted to work in PR that was meaningful. Like I couldn't see myself ever going and doing PR for, I don't know, Coke or Evil Oil or whatever it was. I'm sure they have elements of good, but it had to be in jobs that the PR I was doing felt true.
But that's the thing, you've had that, whether you were conscious of it or not, then you've had this alignment throughout. And I believe in you sharing all that you've shared today. You've not only highlighted so much to people that are on that journey, not on that journey, know someone on that journey that could recommend this episode to them, but you've highlighted so many different layers. And even if it's just for someone's awareness, or for someone to equally reach out to you and again be that supportive network, or for you to say about that, Danny, did you say that incredible?
Danny Binnington.
So this is what I'm trying to say.
Menopause and cancer.
Yeah, you've shared so much, like so many layers, and even while you're still navigating it and you're still ongoing, it's a journey. It's never, finished, goal.
No, there's no. Well, you don't want there to be an end, not just yet.
But that's what I'm saying is I actually love, because often I connect with people who will go back to a time of, this is what happened and this is now where I'm at. And I'm not saying that you haven't done that, because I feel like I hear so much greatness in your journey, but I know you're equally navigating so many things right now. And I think,
still going forward.
And I think that brings real empowerment. That brings real empowerment in the here and the now, right now. You've not come on here and you're not, I'm not saying, I know it's a silly expression, but wearing a mask and pretending everything's okay. And you've come on, you've been raw, you've been real, and you've shared your truth. And that, in you doing that, you will inspire others, and you will just raise awareness, and also help others feel like they're not alone as well on this journey. So I really thank you so much.
Thank you very much. No, you're very welcome. And if you want to share my linkies, so you can, I do have a YouTube channel, and my resolution for this year, again, as part of my master's, was to start posting my work on Instagram, which I had a very love-hate relationship with, due to the, as I say, because it was like PR used to be, can you write a story? Can you do an interview? Can you talk to a journalist? And then suddenly it was, can you make another reel for Instagram? Please make some more content for Instagram. So I have now started making some content for Instagram. But I also have YouTube, and I'm just doing it, as I said, doing it live just for fun. But, fun and
informative.
Watch this space.
Thank you so much, Jane.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate this conversation with you, and I know
Thank
there's
you
so
for
many
letting me
that
on
you
to
will
talk about my
inspire.
favourite topic. My favorite topic, me.
And I hear you
And
about
we'll
the
keep in
reels for
touch.
Instagram. I really need to sort that out myself anyway.
Well, if you need someone who knows how to do it. No, I'm kidding. Oh, please don't hate me.
Thank
I've
you
got to
so
write a
much.
best-selling novel. Right. Bye.
And before you go, if there was
Yes.
one thing that you feel like someone listening right now, just off the top of your head, would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
I haven't sworn yet in this interview. Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my tour of my open mic nights last year, it's hashtag JFDI tour. So it'd be just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
give it a go. However little, forward is a pace.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And you know what? Sometimes we actually really need those powerful words that make a difference to really feel that adrenaline, you know? So thank you, Jane. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed the Zest as an experience.
I look forward to hearing it and seeing it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the magic that Zest is in.